All right. Since I'm live, you guys can hear me. Please let me know. We will get this started. Only 5 minutes late today, so hopefully y'all pick the under. I think someone said it at 7 minutes, so congrats on the under betters. But looking forward to the race today. I think the way this starting grid setup makes for a very interesting slate. In the Indy road course, I've had a lot of bad experiences here, so hopefully that doesn't continue. I guess I'm due for a good Indy race, but looking forward to it. I should probably turn my phone off. Got a text right off the rip. But got about 100 of you waiting. I do appreciate you all being here. If you have any questions, just let me know. We will try to get to all of them, time permitted. I don't want to run out of time because I still have to build some of my lineups. All right. I'm going to go to the top here. I got done up from man Chris Jenkins, as always. I do appreciate that. Says, do you think Suarez can hold off Reddick at the start and get some laps led? I mean, I certainly think that is possible. Suarez looks like he's got a really good car this week, and we know he's good at road courses. This isn't like a fluke, pull for him. I don't think he's going to go straight back. He definitely has the speed. Now, Reddick, I would assume gets the lead at some point. I was looking at the at price picks and their lap lead props. They got him, Reddick at 38.5, I believe. He led 38 from the pool last year. We know how good Reddick is at road courses. He's the most recent winner here at Indy. So I think at some point, Reddick probably does get the lead. But I do think Suarez has a good enough car to get the job done. And if you're looking at the some of the lap data, I mean, Suarez looked really good. So definitely think it's possible. Now, as far as DFS is concerned, there is so many drivers that offer place differential upside and also high finishing position potential that aren't starting on the front. And there's not that many dominator points to hand out, so I wouldn't say Suarez is the absolute best DFS play today. I still have him popping up in the optimal quite a bit, like over 25% of the time, because I do think he is good enough at that price point to be able to stay up front a little bit, get some laps led, and finish within the top 5. Certainly possible Vegas would have something similar as well. I believe they have him as the second favorite, I believe, looking at the odds. At least from yesterday. So they had Reddick at 330 last I looked, Chase Elliott at 550, and then Suarez at 650. So, I mean, if Suarez finishes in the top 5 and leads some laps today, that's viable for sure. There's just risk because, strategy can take place or wrecks. We've seen Indy be quite chaotic, so you can't completely rule that out. But I do appreciate the dono, sir. Let's see. Let me roll to the top here. Again, if you don't see any questions that I'm answering, I'm going from the top bottom. Just simple as that. I'll try to answer everybody's questions. So I'll get to it eventually. But what's up, Dimitri? Says my man Chris will be early today. Well, not early, but not too late. Not too late. What's up, D'Angelo? Says last man in Gibbs or Harvick. I know for large field GPP or last man in 7,600 left. So Harvick's going to be very chalky today. He is extremely cheap and he is starting nearly dead last with William Byron. So he will have a lot of ownership. If you already have some other chalky plays, I am totally fine switching over to Ty Gibbs. I just did that in one of my lineups I was building because I was doing a 3 max and I already had 2 Harvick builds. So I wanted to get him out of one. Didn't want to play 100% any driver today just because, well, if you're building 150 or like 20 lineups, I don't think I'm going to get above like 60% on a driver just because this could be a very random race. So you got to account for that. And I think ownership should be really spread out today because I don't think there's any like absolute must plays. But in my 3 max, I did like 2 Byrons, 2 Harvicks, and then try to build around there because I don't want to have 3 out of 3. And I actually did move Gibbs from Harvick in one of those builds. So I'm fine with that. If you already have chalk, if you don't have a bunch of chalk plays, I'm fine rolling in Harvick. Just depends on the build. What's up, James? I thought he said noon Eastern. Yeah, I always say noon, ends up being 1 o'clock, just how it is. I guess noon in Indy time. I think they're in Central, right? So I guess I didn't technically lie. What's up, Adam? Says, I'm struggling with paring down my player pool this week. Can you rank the players in these groups? Busch, Larson, Bell, Dinger, Busher, Hamlin, Byron, Chastain, Cindric, Logano, Blaney. So in that first group, I am probably having it Larson, Bell, Busch, and then I'll be Dinger, Byron, Hamlin, Busher, but I mean, all great plays in that second group. I mean, I have tons of all of those guys. And then for the last group, I would probably have it Cindric, Chastain, Blaney, Logano, I think. All kind of mid guys right there. Jared says, I'm going to predict 12:06 for the arrival of the go. Beat you by 1 minute. 1 minute. It was very close. What's up, James? Says, good morning. Who's the best driver starting in the rear? I mean, the best driver is William Byron in the rear for sure. I mean, he was fast in practice, and he's in a Hendrick car. Only problem with Byron is, I'm not really sure I'd call it a problem, but it's just going to be annoying at the beginning, is that he has that pass-through penalty. He's not going to lose a lap or anything, but I mean, it's going to put him in a hole, and he is definitely not going to be up to 20th place by any means in a couple of laps. So just know, if you are rostering these popular plays today, like Kevin Harvick, William Byron, who else is back there? And that's really it for like the guys in the absolute back. I mean, I'm not going to count Eric Jones because he's slow. But your lineups are probably going to suck for a while, but that's why it's an 82 lap race. So just know, I mean, if you're like not doing well, it's probably because you have Byron, it's probably because you have Harvick, and they're going to be back for a little bit, especially William Byron. I mean, he's going to be sinking your lineup until there's a caution because he's just not going to be able to get up front without cautions. So just keep in mind for that. But once we do get a caution at some point, which I think is pretty likely to happen. I mean, starting in 39th, if Byron can just get the 20th today, you're looking pretty good. Like, I have Byron at a 21 point something place projected finish today, and that's still like my third highest projected driver, or fourth, I should say, at 41 points. Everyone's pretty low in projections this week. Like, my highest projected guy is Truex at 46, so it's, like I said, I'm accounting for variance because I'm not really totally sure what to expect at Indy. So just a 21st place finish from Byron is not bad, which I think he can get there. And he was top 10 in practice too. What's up, Jeremy? Says your thoughts on lineups with 4 cars starting in the top 10 and 2 cars for place differential. I don't mind it. I don't mind it. So you have 4 drivers up front, which that you're offsetting it with. Since you're offsetting it with place differential, I think it's all right because you could easily go, say, Tyler Reddick up front with like an Alex Bowman, a Ty Gibbs, a Michael McDowell. I mean, all those drivers are really good and I think too cheap this weekend. Then you put in like Harvick and William Byron. I don't think that looks too bad, so I'm fine with that in tournaments. What's up, Sean? Says, hey CP, enjoy the content. Opinion on Elliott, Larson, Suarez, McDowell, and Bowman on FanDuel. Thank you for your input. On FanDuel, that's a little bit too much for me. I know we want drivers that can finish high, and I think all those guys can finish high, but you're really not leaving yourself too much wiggle room. I mean, there's the upside, yeah, it's there. I mean, all those guys could finish in the top 6, to be honest. I mean, it's totally possible, but at the same time, there's just not enough dominator points to really make, I think, all of those guys in the same lineup worth it, especially on FanDuel. Like, you don't get anything for dominator points, and we only have 82 laps, so not really going to equate too much. So I would personally stick with maybe a few of those drivers and then mix in some guys with some PD upside. Like, you don't even have to go as far back as guys like William Byron or Harvick, but like a Chris Buescher, maybe a Dinger, a Denny Hamlin, something like that. I just want to give myself a little bit of wiggle room in case one of those guys have issues. What's up, Clint? Happy race day. Go Harvick. Yeah, you're talking about one of the chalkiest drivers on the slate today for your boy this weekend, Clint. So you have to decide what you want to do. It's 5 says he's going to buck the trend, and but he starts on time. Not too far off this week. Only about 5 minutes. What's up, Dwayne? For DraftKings GPP single entry, do you like Dinger, Byron, Hamlin, Reddick, Ty Dillon, and Harvick? I just can't see myself playing Ty Dillon today. I don't really see why you need to go down that low as well, just because, I mean, I haven't really found myself having to go that cheap. I mean, maybe some lineups with Todd Gilliland on DraftKings, but to get the Ty Dillon, I think you're probably forcing too many big names in your lineup, which, I mean, you have Reddick, Byron, Dinger, Hamlin, Harvick, which I feel like I'd be able to get someone more expensive than Ty Dillon there. So I'd probably drop one of those guys just to get above Ty Dillon. I just don't see the upside there unless there's a bunch of carnage, which is possible, but it's not something I really want to bank on. So I would personally pass on Ty Dillon. Just try to bump it up a little bit. Maybe get to like a Todd Gilliland or even a Ricky Stenhouse. I'd feel better about that. I see Josh Bilicki's biggest fan is here. It says, hearing reports that the Bilicki team that he woke up excellent this morning, high on today, and everyone knows how to turn left and nobody hangs a right like Josh Bilicki. Well, not many were as slow as Josh Bilicki, I'll tell you that. He was P36 in practice. But, you know, if he has some carnage, maybe he gets there at $4,700, but not something I'm banking on. Ross says, does Byron have to do a stop and go penalty? Well, he's got a pass-through penalty. Stop and go is a little bit different. That's when you're like off the track. But, yeah, he's got the pass-through penalty, which is gonna suck. So just know, again, if you're rostering Byron and you're wondering why he's not passing anyone, that's why. You got to wait for a caution. I mean, maybe he catches some of the bums after a little bit, but it'll take a bit. Probably, what, like 40 seconds? 40 seconds off or something like that. What's up, Pugsley? Adam says, asked this question last week and you seem to like it, so I'm running it back. Who do you like this week that you don't expect to get too much because you like the drivers better around their price point? That is a good question. Now, this week, I'm going to be pretty spread out, but drivers that I do like that I probably won't get to a ton of, I probably won't get to as much Chris Buescher as I want to. Like, I like him a lot today, and I forced him on one of my 3 max builds, but I mean, just when you're looking at the other drivers around him, like Bell, Dinger, Hamlin, Byron, at some point you just can't play all these guys a ton. So I think my optimal is just under 20% on him. And if it was like any other race where there wasn't all these PD guys, I mean, Buescher in 17th I would like. So I guess Buescher might be one of those guys. And then really all of these drivers from Tyler Reddick down to Christopher Bell, I like them all, but I just can't get to them as much because I'm going to be playing some Truex, and then I have all these cheaper plays, differential plays. So kind of that range is, I mean, I like them all. I think they can finish high. I think they'll have a legit chance to win, but just probably won't be able to get to enough of them. So I do like that question, though. You can ask that every week. I'd appreciate that. What's up, Ross? Elijah says Hamlin or Allmendinger. I'd probably have to go with Dinger there. Just kind of trusting at road courses a little bit more. And that man needs to get a win. At least run well. What's up, Taylor? Says Cindric or Chastain for single entry? That is a very tough question this week. I've been looking at those two, and I'm like, I don't really know what to do with either of them. Cindric was a little bit faster. Chastain, obviously Trackhouse has speed this week. I mean, you saw with Daniel Suarez that he got the pole, and then you obviously have Shane as well, who was fast. Although Shane's kind of in his own category. So I think Chastain won't be too bad. I like the price point, but Cindric, he's going to be a little bit faster, just have better odds in Vegas as well. So I guess I'll go with Cindric, but it's very close. Dakota says, thoughts on cash for full place differential? I'm fine with that for cash games. I mean, it's not like we have to try to hit the nuts in cash games. So if you just want to build a super safe lineup, like if you're playing cash, I think a lot of people probably start with Dinger, Harvick, Byron, and then who's the other guy? Denny Hamlin. I think pretty much everyone jams those 4 in. Then after that, it's kind of like a 2v2. I think people will play Truex if you can afford that. Some people might play like guys like Ross Chastain, Austin Cindric. Stenhouse will probably be popular down low. So something like that. Pugsley says, I think I'm going Elliott, Bell, Dinger, Suarez, Bowman, and Gilly in tournaments. That's definitely not bad. I mean, Elliott's a good GPP play along with Christopher Bell. You do have a lot of guys starting in like the top 10 though, because I thought you said you had Bowman. Oh, you do have Bowman. So that's like what, 4 guys in the top 10, top 9, something like that. So it can be a little bit iffy there. You do have Dinger and Gilly for a little bit of place differential though, so I don't think it's awful. Just there is some risk there. Other alternative is swap Bell and Suarez for Byron and Hamlin, but Chris didn't go too heavy on PD. Now, I do have a good chunk of PD. I don't think it should be your entire lineup, especially in tournaments. But I do have a good amount, though. Got a donor from a man Spreader. So 6-pick special, go. A great Warzone weekend. Toto and Mistrals. Yeah, we had some good runs in Warzone, a couple wins the other day. Last night we got close, but yeah, the 6-pick special, we'll send it to your email, Spread. Make sure you check that later. But I do appreciate the dono, sir. What's up, Rick? Says, good morning, CP. Big NASCAR gives Chase the win today. It's possible. I mean, I wouldn't be too surprised. And a lot of people have talked about the downfall of Chase out at road courses, but to be honest, that's kind of, I mean, he's not really been bad at road courses by any means. And if you're looking at the overall numbers in next-gen car road courses, he has the most dominant points of all drivers, so he's been running well. I mean, everyone loves Reddick at road courses, which rightfully so. Reddick's awesome at road courses now, arguably the best, but he's averaging 11.3 laps led per race, 6.6 fast laps. Elliott's at 18.3 laps led, 11 fast laps. Like, Elliott's been really good still. Just hasn't gotten the wins. So I do like Chase in tournaments today. And we have 2 road course races for him this year. I mean, talking 2 top 5s, and not really been a huge dominator, but I would be shocked if Elliott doesn't run well. I know the practice wasn't amazing for him, but I'm not going to be overly concerned about it. Spread says first, more like 30th. Brandon says, how many drivers max are you playing on a lineup starting 1 through 10? I mean, it really depends on the build. If you're in tournaments, I don't mind getting to like 2 to 3. If I'm playing cash games, I'm not really sure I'd have any in cash. But I have 3 lineups on FanDuel built right now. I might change them a little bit, but we have 12, 26, 25, 39, 38. So that's like my PD cash lineup right there. Like Truex, Dinger, Hamlin, Byron, Harvick. I feel like that's probably the most popular cash lineup on the, I'm not playing cash, but like my single entry build on FanDuel. But then after that, I mean, I have a Reddick, Larson, Dinger, Byron, Harvick. So it's like that mixture of drivers up front and then guys in the back. And then I did one that's like completely off the chalk and went Busher, McDowell, Gibbs, Bowman, Elliott. So I just kind of did like one full chalk lineup, one half chalk lineup, and then I did one that's avoiding all the chalk. So try to cover my bases there. Now I might change it a little bit, but I do like the way it looks. And I will say, for those of you this week, is that I don't really think salary means too much, especially over on FanDuel. Like that one build has about $5,000 left, and I honestly could compete with all these lineups. So salary doesn't really mean too much for me this weekend. So if you're finding yourself having money on the table, I think that's fine. Bush is Kush. Everybody ready for the Mickey Mouse win? Talking about Elliott. I mean, I can see it. He definitely has to get a win here. Wouldn't be surprised if Big NASCAR rolls up their sleeves and shows what they got today. Whopper. Oh yeah, the lovely Burger King commercial. Eddie says, build my lineup super chat. What's up, Kobe Bear? Says, morning. Handling keeps fitting too well. A bit worrying. It is worrying a little bit. I mean, he hasn't been in the absolute class of the field at road courses, but he has been fast. We saw how good he was early on at the Chicago qualifying, I should say, in practice. During the race, he kind of screwed up at the very beginning, and then I believe he spun. It didn't end up being the best day in the world. But at Sonoma, he was fast until he wrecked. He was very fast. So starting in 25th, I mean, he's cheap. It fits. Not like I'm like super excited about it, but I mean, starting in 25th, you can't really ask for too much. DePalma says Blicky will score negative points this week, and that is something since he's starting 32nd. I mean, probably. What do I have, Matt? I got Blicky at 10 points, so I'm not being too mean to him. I'm giving him a 32nd place finish, so it's not great. It's 2.25x, but the cheap plays suck this week. That is for sure. But I am not playing Blicky. Rick says, turn in quick for Patrick Mahomes, only play one series. Oh, yeah, I forgot about preseason today, but too busy with NASCAR. But you have to let me know how Mr. Mahomes does, Rick. Good morning, big deal. PJ says, not too happy they took the 400 away and made it a road course. Why on earth do they think we would want that? I mean, I don't know what I want, to be honest. I mean, Indy, it's entertaining, the road course, that is. The regular race kind of sucks. And I don't know really what's better. I mean, I guess from an entertainment standpoint, the road course is probably better than the oval, but I honestly don't know what I want more. It's tough. If I do well today, I want the road course to stay. If not, I am asking to blow it up, and then we'll go back to the oval, please. It'll just depend on how I do today. Good morning, Ben. Cut the Check says, any cars messed up that had adjustments? I don't believe so. The only guy going to the rear that I know of as of right now is it Bastecki or Kostecki? I forget what's his name start with. Yeah, Brody Kostecki, that's right. Let me check Bob's Twitter though, make sure nothing else happened. I don't know if you guys watched practice and qualifying, but Gillen was super fast, and I think when he went to the gravel, then after that he was having a really tough time driving his car. I think it was in qualifying. But I don't think, let's see here. Yes, it's to the rear, Kostecki, and then obviously Byron with 3 tech fails, but that's it. James says, hey, Dad. What's up, James? 2 for 2 on start times for the live stream. Yeah, you're killing it, Jared. Sharpest book in the nation on my start times. Juan says, Chris, you really think Reddick is going to win? Heavy favorite, but of course that 5-car Larson. I mean, my projections say Reddick's going to win, but there is no chance I would bet him at plus 330. I don't know if that's changed. Let me check the most recent odds. Yeah, I don't know how you can bet someone at 330 at Indy. I mean, yes, theoretically, I have Reddick projected as the winner, and by like 2 positions. So I have it at. So I got Reddick for a 3.52 projected finish, 17.2% chance to win, which is 6% more than the next guy, Chase, out of my projections. But Vegas has Reddick as a 23.3% projected chance to win. So that's I just don't know how you can bet that. I mean, do I think Reddick wins? Yes, but there's just so much that can happen. I couldn't bet that. And yeah, I would rather bet Larson. I think he's at 1,100 or 1,000. I think there's way more value there. No, I still am showing negative leverage on that, but it's only like by 0.1%. So I think Larson's a much better bet than Tyler Reddick. What's up, Rahul? I think I'm saying that name right. Says, good morning, everyone. Happy race day. Good luck on all of our lineups. Appreciate that, sir. We need all the luck we can get here. That is for sure. What's up, Brady? Says, GPP, Elliott, Larson, Busher, Logano, Gibbs, Ricky Stenhouse, too chalky. No, I don't think that's too chalky. Now, Elliott and Larson aren't going to have like zero ownership or anything. They're going to be owned probably around 20%, maybe less, depending on how I own some of these chalkier guys get. But I think those are good play, not place differential, good GPP plays because they can both win the race. You have Chris Buescher, 17th. He's been exceptional at road courses. Logano, a little bit iffy there, but I swear Logano always tends to be like on the right side of strategy, so I'm sure he's got another horseshoe this weekend. I like Ty Gibbs. Ricky Stenhouse sucks, but it's your last piece fit, and he's starting almost dead last, so can't really ask for too much. I think that's fine. Definitely not too chalky. What's up, Aaron? So those late getting here. Remember, you're always late, so I was right on time. Yeah, you got it. But appreciate you being here, and missed practice and qualifying help. Well, it's definitely an interesting grid this week, let's just say. I mean, lots of PD and lots of good guys up front, so it's trying to find that nice balance. Iron says, playing a lot of drivers come from the rear this week. Yeah, I mean, they're going to be very popular. Doing more dominators or place differential. So you don't really want dominators at a track like this, and that's not me saying you can't rush these guys up front, but I'm not playing them as dominators because there's not that many dominator points to go around. So when I'm playing Elliott, I'm not playing him as a dominator. I'm just playing him as a guy that could potentially win the race. You know what I mean? So it's definitely more of a focus on place differential compared to dominators, but it's just that finishing position, place differential mix, and trying to find a fine line there. Tanner says, how big is a passer in a road course, or at least here? I mean, I assume it's probably going to cost them like, I mean, it's like 90 seconds for a lap. Probably cost him like half a lap. He's not going to go a lap down, though. Not going to go a lap down. Sean says, who's everybody's beg for outright winner? I have 3 outright winners, all sprinkles, though. Like, very small sprinkles just because I don't really trust anything here. But this morning, I got Bowman at plus 3,000. Small sprinkle there. I got Ty Gibbs at plus 3,000. Small sprinkle. And then Michael McDowell at plus 1,800, I believe it was on FanDuel, because he's like 1,200 on Barstool, and I think over on DK he is at 16. He's at 14 on DK, so I felt good about those numbers. Those were the only drivers that were showing me value, so we got McDowell, Bowman, and Gibbs, all sprinkles there. Not expecting them to win, but I just thought the numbers were pretty good. Because there's no chance I'm betting like Reddick, Elliott, and guys like that at their numbers. Way more likely to win, but not going to do it. Is Byron's car okay with the penalties? Even worth it? I mean, yeah, his car's good. He was top 10 in practice. It's just a matter of when do we get the caution. But whenever we get a caution, it gets bunched back up, and there's strategy in play. I mean, he could easily get mid-pack. That's all you really need. It's not like he's 10K. He's only $8,900. So as long as he gets mid-pack, you're fine. Even if he's like 23rd, it's not going to kill your lineup. Jody says, Busch, Larson, Dinger, McDowell, Jones, and Gibbs. Lots of heavy hitters in there. I don't mind it. I mean, Jones is going to be slow, but if he just doesn't wreck today, I mean, I'm sure he could gain like 5 spots. So I'm okay with that. Definitely a nice mix there. It's actually a really good tournament lineup because I don't think Busch, Larson are going to be super high owned. And then you have Gibbs, who I think is an excellent GPP play, and then McDowell. So I like that. What's up, Tito? Says Truex or log out when you chase 6 laps. Yeah, if you guys, I'm not doing any, I don't think I'm going to do any price picks just because, again, sometimes the best bets you can make are the ones you don't make, and I am not super confident in the Indy road course on stuff happening. So, but I will say Chase Elliott's only at 5.5 laps on price picks. It seems a bit low. I mean, starting in 3rd, they're giving Reddick 38.5, although I see that's now down to 35.5. But I think Chase can get 6 laps led today. I mean, I'm not calling it a slam dunk, but I definitely think it's possible. But I don't really like any of the props this week. I think they had, I did like Gibbs over 30.5. That's now at 32 though. I wouldn't bet that. But nothing really looks too great. McDowell moved up. I liked him at 34, and it's now at 36. And Bowman's at 29.5. Seems a bit low in my opinion. I know he hasn't been running that well, wrecking wise. Actually has been kind of running pretty good. Just ends up getting caught up in issues every time. But there's really not much to pick here. And the only couple I did like that did get bumped. So Nothing really worth looking at. What's up, Mom? Says no problem at all. Have fun at the beach. Hopefully you guys don't burn up too much. But thank you for stopping by. Carmi says, what's your thoughts on Kyle Busch? He's like the same play as all these other guys. Larson, Bell, Elliott, Shane. Really not much differentiating them. He was 16th in practice, but I'm not going to be overly concerned about practice. I think qualifying is better practice, honestly, because they had similar track conditions. I believe it was Group B at a bit of a faster track. So obviously he's got a fast car, and Busch has been great at road courses, so he's a fine GPP play. Harvick, Eric Jones, I have enough for both. I guess I'd have to go Harvick. I trust that team to figure out a way to get at least around 20th compared to Jones, but I would have to say Harvick. Liker says, who are the best drivers on this track type? I mean, pretty much the guys up front. Tyler Reddick, Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson, Bell, Dinger, Truex. I mean, all those guys are excellent at these tracks. What's up, Preacher? Who I think is Earl. Best all-time NASCAR name, Lake Speed or Dick Trickle? Probably the second one. I think that's probably the most popular. What is up, crew? Says best of luck today, Chris. Hope you're doing well. Right back at you. I watched your live stream this morning. I saw I think it says something in the Xfinity Series live stream, early Cup one. But yes, I do watch every week, so I think they're very entertaining. So thank you for stopping by. Rick says, Spready and Chico wrenching. You know how they are. Got to polish off the wrenches. Jared says, guess I wasn't 2 for 2. Palma says, Kobayashi eating hot dogs and winning Indy road course races. Oh, not the same guy. Never mind. You see, a couple people have told me that. I don't understand what it is. So apparently I'm missing something here. Nate says, 7,300 left. Already have Harvick. Is there someone else worth taking down there? Should I revamp? I mean, Harvick's probably the best play. I mean, who else are you really going to play over Harvick? Keselowski, maybe. Maybe Keselowski. But I do like Bowman today. I don't think I've gotten really any Bowman questions, but I think Bowman's one of the best tournament plays on the slate. He is just way too cheap for being in a Hendrick car. And he's not bad at road courses. Like, he could top 10 for sure. And you don't even need a top 10 for Bowman. If he finishes 12th today at that price, that's not bad. So I like Bowman, Keselowski, Harvick. And that's really about it there. Maybe Austin Dillon's not a bad play. Don't hate that, but it's not pretty. Reddick and Elliott for Doms. I mean, yeah, they're top 3 in my Dom percentage. Let me pull that up. So top Doms for me today, we have Reddick at 16.2%, Suarez at 13.6%. Guess I'm a dirty liar. Elliott's 4th. Larson's at 10.5, and then Elliott's at 9.9. So. Cut the check says Byron wrecked in both races at Indy. I mean, it is what it is. You can't really project wrecks, though. I mean, I'm sure something will happen today, but I don't know who it's going to be. And we'll go to the rear of the field today. Thanks as always. No problem. Rosa. It's just going to be Byron, who's already there. And then you have I keep wanting to say Bustecki, but it's Kostecki or Kostecki. I don't know. I don't really care. I don't want to play him either way. Do we stack the front with the sprinkle of the rear? I mean, you can go one of 3 ways, which is what I'm doing. I built lineups where it's mostly all place differential. I built lineups that are with guys up front and place differential. And I build lineups with almost everybody up in the top 20. So I'm just kind of all over the place right now. There's many ways you can go. I mean, if you're going top heavy, it's going to be lower owned. I mean, the ownership's in the back today for the most part. Cash plays. If you're playing cash today, you're probably just jamming in Dinger, Hamlin, Byron, and Harvick. Those are like the main 4. And I also think Truex gets a lot of ownership. So it's just figure out the last one, I guess. What's up, Sarah? Hello from Mississippi. Hopefully all is well over there. Although this time of the year it's probably not too great. Steve says ownership projection on Elliott. Let me find it. I have Elliott at like right around 20%. I could see him being anywhere from 15 to 20. It's just almost everybody in that upper range is like the same exact play. So I just kind of spread it out for the most part. And if you want access to the ownership projections and all that stuff, you can get a free week free on Patreon. Completely free. I don't know if Spread can drop me the link for me, but check out all this stuff over there, and probably you can answer all your questions you have right on there for yourself. I don't mind answering questions. I was just saying if you want to make it easier on you. Darren says DK Cash Core, not named Byron or Harvick. Probably Dinger and Hamlin after those two. Dinger and Hamlin. Hit the like, says Timmy. I would agree with Timmy there. What's up, Family Man? Says 50% of the top 8 scores so far in 2023 are from the back half of the field. There are 18 performances in the last 3 course races. The drivers notched over 10 PD points, a staggering. I feel like this is from an article or somewhere. But I mean, yeah. But we've only had 3 road course races this year, so if you can't really draw a sample size from 3 races on stuff like that, because the field's completely different every single time. Eddie says top 3 GPP plays on DraftKings. Yeah, I mean, there's 3 guys I'm getting to a lot of for tournaments. I love Alex Bowman today just because of the price. Really like Ty Gibbs, really like Michael McDowell. I mean, those are 3 of the guys that I just think make a lot of sense for tournaments, given their price points, where they're starting. Showed speed in practice. So I don't know if Ty Gibbs is going to get a bump from winning the Xfinity race yesterday. Maybe. But either way, I still like him a lot. So Bowman, Gibbs, McDowell, guys I'm sprinkling in quite a bit for tournaments. Jared says, GPP thoughts, Truex, Elliott, Dinger, McDowell, Jones, and Haley. So I like Truex, Elliott, I like Dinger, I like McDowell. Yeah, it's a good lineup. I mean, Jones and Haley are iffy, but just hope for the best in the back, I say. Not really, I mean, once you get below guys like in that below around 7K, I mean, it's gross. How is Larson lower priced than Van Gisbergen? That's a good question. I mean, I get it. Shane's got the hype from the Chicago street course, but this is a different scenario. I mean, everyone's kind of on an even playing field when we went to Chicago because no one actually ran that race before. Shane's coming in. He's got plenty of experience with these track types, and none of these other guys have data, so he's right there even with them. Now, all these other guys have data. I think Shane's going to run well. I mean, he should be top 10, but I don't think he's going to come up the field at the end like he did at the Chicago. And I would say Larson probably should be more expensive than him. But that just means, we're getting a discount on Larson. He's only $9,600. Sounds pretty good to me. I do have Larson on one of my 3 max builds. I'm gonna revisit them though. Just they feel ugly, but I don't know how to make them look better. Because I have a Reddick and Larson build. I feel like I might want to get rid of one of those 2 and get like an extra. Because I have 300 left. If I got rid of Reddick, so right now this one build, it's on FanDuel. It's Reddick, Larson, Dinger, Byron, Harvick. If I got rid of Reddick, I could play like, I don't know. They all feel the same though, because if I take out Reddick, I can either play Bell, Busch, Shane, or I can drop down to like a Chris Buescher or something. But I don't know. I might just keep it. We will see though. Thoughts on Van Gis? Probably just answered that for you, Sanders. Hopefully. I mean, they're all like the same play. He does offer a little more PD upside though, but probably just going to run around the top 10 all day, I imagine. I don't think he's going to be as good as he was at Chicago, though. I feel like Truex gets it done. I mean, I wouldn't be too surprised. As good as Truex has been this year. Is Larson a good pick for an outright winner? If I was betting any big dog today, it's Larson, because he's the closest in my leverage here. Like, Reddick's showing negative 6.1% leverage. Elliott's at minus 3.7%. Suarez at minus 1.7, but Larson's only at minus 0.1. Everybody else has a hefty amount there. So if I had to pick anyone, I guess it would be Larson there. I didn't do it personally though. I just took sprinkles on some outrights, more long shot. What's up, Albert? How does Dinger, Truex, McDowell, Byron, Harvick, and Jones look for cash games? It's fine with me. I mean, McDowell maybe a little bit iffy for cash because of where he's starting, but overall it's a pretty good lineup. I don't know how popular he's going to be in cash, though. If I had to bet the house on the winner, Reddick, SVG, or Elliott, what you think? I mean, I wouldn't do it. My recommendation is to keep the house and save it for another week. But I mean, the guy I think wins is Reddick, but I am not betting him at that number. I'll tell you right now. Your best bets to win this week. I'm really far behind in chat, so I don't know if I already said it and you heard it, but the only thing I have, and they don't even equal 1 unit. Don't even equal 1 unit. It's Michael McDowell, Bowman, Gibbs, just sprinkles on them. Only guys I have value on right now. So just took some long shots, and hopefully the dice rolls their way, I guess. DFS today says, hey Chris, thoughts on playing 5 or 6 from 20 and back? That's fine. I'm okay with that. I have a lineup just like that. Roddy Dorito says, Hardwick, Byron, Stenhouse, combo too chalky together. Well, it is chalky, obviously, but if you play those 3, I would probably try to find a way to make a difference. So instead of playing like a Truex or a Dinger, maybe swap to like a Gibbs, a Bowman somewhere. I think Bowman's going to have some ownership today, though, so maybe like a McDowell, something like that. Does that make sense? AJB says, happy Bulicki Day. Oh, no. I hope it's not Bulicki Day. What's up, Bonnie? Says thoughts on Blaney's not popping up at all on my optimizer. Yeah, I'm having a hard time getting the Blaney as well. I got him for a 16th place finish, which is kind of even with the market, with the way I have it. It's just kind of tough because if you look at where Blaney is, starting in 16th, 18th in practice. I mean, he's not been great at the road courses this year. I just don't really see him gaining a ton. I know he led 17 laps at Indy last year, starting in 6th. But if you look in that range, you have Michael McDowell, Ty Gibbs, and Harvick starting in the back. So I'm just having a tough time getting there. I think my Sims have Blaney at around 10% optimal, so it's not like it's a complete fade or anything. I got him projected for just under 15% ownership, so showing a little bit of negative leverage there. What else says, who finishes better, Truex or Buescher? Tough one. So my guy Sean in Discord got Buescher at plus 190 head to head over Truex. I think that's gone way down now. Now, personally, I would say Truex finishes better. Like for my projections, I got Truex at 6.7 for his projected finish. I got Chris Buescher at 13.31 just because of the starting spot. I mean, I could easily see him getting in the top 10, but my projections are quite conservative. So I would say Truex. Eric Jones is going to be slow today, I'll tell you that. He's going to need some carnage. I don't think he gets there on speed. He was 35th in practice, 36th in qualifying, and just legacy looks really bad. Albert says, I got Reddick, Dinger, Buescher, McDowell, Gibbs, and Jones for GPPs. Thoughts? Thanks for the video. Back to work I go. Good luck, everybody. Well, hopefully you enjoy work today, Albert. But I think your lineup's fine. I mean, Reddick's a good play. Dinger, Buescher, McDowell, Gibbs. Yeah, it looks good. No problem with that. Cindric or Blaney? I'd probably go with Cindric there. Brett says, how is Bubba at road courses? Bubba's about as bad as it gets at road courses. He is really bad. If you're looking at his numbers, this year at road courses, 30 sample size, average finish 28th, averaging negative 0.7 DraftKings points per race. If we open up the sample size a little bit, just to the next gen car in general, we have an 8-race sample size, and it somehow gets worse. 29.5 average finish, running position at 27th, and a driver rating that is worse than Harrison Burton. So it's not good. And actually, his driver rating is worse than Ty Dillon, and barely better than Bulicki. So yeah, it's not been good for old Bubba. I'm just now seeing spreads down, so that can't be good. Got about 400 people here. I do appreciate that. Chris says, thoughts on Gibbs probably getting the best of JGR for the next 3 races and ran good yesterday. I mean, I like Ty Gibbs a lot. I think he's going to have some speed, and yeah, they got to have him get some good races in there for the playoffs. So, I mean, yeah, I could see that. But I'm all aboard the Gibbs train, so give me any more reasons to like him, I'll take it. Harvick, Byron, and Jones risky or no? It's not risky. It's going to be very popular. They have very high floors. AJ says, winning lineup will probably have Bulicki, Ty Dillon, and Burton. I hope not. I hope not. Is Reddick and Suarez okay in the same GPP lineup? I don't love it. Although last year, the guy starting 1 and 2 did finish 1 and 2, Cindric and Tyler Reddick, but I don't think it's the easiest path to optimal. If you are doing that, I would probably need some place differential guys mixed in. But I won't rule it out completely. Spread says I think Busher now has 19 straight top 18 finishes. I mean, he's just one of the more consistent guys in the entire field, and I mean, now he's getting wins. It's definitely cool to see. I mean, Busher's always been a great driver, just not in the best equipment, but RFK's definitely stepped their game up, and I mean, they're probably the best Ford team now. I mean, Penske, I mean, at times, yeah, Penske can be dominant, but they're just very hit or miss every week. And then SHR is terrible outside of a couple short flat tracks. So it's definitely nice to see RFK moving up. I mean, Brad and Busher definitely make a really nice solid duo. Do you think Eric Jones can get up there even though he was so slow in practice? The only way Eric Jones is getting up there is if there's wrecks. I just don't see how he's going to have the speed to pass people. I mean, maybe he can get to like 29th or 30th on speed, but I don't really see much upside outside of wrecks. I mean, and obviously that can happen. So, better projection play, Byron or Hamlin? I believe it's Byron. Yeah, I got Byron at 41 points, and then I got Hamlin at 39.9. So it's very close. Darren says Hamlin Cindric or Larson McDowell, thanks. That's a good question. So I got Hamlin at just about 40. Let's call it 40. I got Cindric at 33. So we're looking at 73 points there. Larson McDowell. What do I have Larson at? I got Larson at 40. Then McDowell. So it's like a point off. I guess Larson McDowell projects a little bit better though, but it's very close. Eric says SVG, Bush, Logano, Bell, Wallace, LaJoy for tournaments. You had me until Wallace, LaJoy. I just don't really want to go that route. I would probably try to get some better cheap guys. Just, I mean, LaJoy's starting too far up for me, and then Bubba's so bad at road courses, I just couldn't trust him. Was it last year that Bubba just snuck in that like top 5 or something here? Absolute chaos, though. It's not like he was the 5th best driver or anything. Tito says NASCAR wants their golden boy Elliott in the playoffs. They're going to give him a little more speed. I mean, I'm sure they do want him in the playoffs. I definitely don't think they want him missing it. Rose says FanDuel, Truex, Larson, Hamlin, Byron, Harvick. That works for me. That looks pretty good. I kind of want to steal it, Roe, to be honest. Conscious says, sorry I'm late, I have a pass through. I like that. That's good. I'll give it a 9 out of 10. Isaiah says, Reddick, Truex, Allmendinger, McDowell, and Eric Jones on FanDuel. How does that sound? I'm not sure if I can get to Eric Jones on FanDuel. On DK, it makes more sense, but on FanDuel, I need some guys with a little bit more upside. So I'm probably passing on the Eric Jones experiment on FanDuel. Hamlin or Gibbs? I mean, Hamlin's going to project better. Now, ownership-wise, Ty Gibbs makes more sense in tournaments, but Hamlin will project better. Only leaving 300 in DraftKings, is it not enough? I mean, you can build lineups close to 50K. I'm just saying that if you do have money on the table, it's fine. Eddie says, best value on DraftKings GPP. I mean, my top value on the slate is Alex Bowman. And, I mean, that makes sense for tournaments. So I guess I would say Bowman. Bowman and McDowell. I don't have anybody projected for 5X today. Obviously, someone will get there. My, again, very conservative projections at a track like this. But I don't think it's like an absolute standout value play. Whew. Adam says, okay, remove 1 from each group. Reddick, SVG, Elliott. It might be a bit much. Let me see. I guess I would remove SVG, Logano. I guess Priest. Probably what I'd do there. Frank says, thoughts on Bowman or Gibbs? I like both a lot. Like, I'll have pretty similar exposure on both of them. If I had to pick one, I have Bowman just a little bit higher, I think. Yeah, I've got Bowman like a point higher. So, more of a coin flip, though. Willie says, wondering if the position play is what's up today in JPP. It's fine. I think you need a mixture, though. I mean, it's very easy for these place differential plays to be in the optimal lineup if there's just a couple of cautions. It's not going to take much. Joel says, hi, Chris. What do you think of Dinger, Gibbs, LaJoy, Truex, Harvick, and Reddick for cash? It's LaJoy and Reddick, I'm not sure if they're going to be the It's more of a tournament build, to be honest. I mean, Gibbs is for GPPs. LaJoy is definitely GPP. And then Reddick's kind of on that line. I don't know if he's really a cash play, though. So I would say it's more of a tournament build. Cindric or Logano. I like Cindric a little bit more. Morning, Chris. Morning as well. Thoughts on 3x tourney lineup? Reddick, Larson, McDowell, Byron, Harvick, and Jones. I don't think that's bad. Now, you are pretty top heavy on Reddick, Larson, McDowell, but you're offsetting that with some Byron, Harvick. I don't mind it. I don't mind it. Dan says, wait and bet Reddick live if he loses the lead. I got Gibbs yesterday plus 700. I really wish we could legally bet in Florida because that is amazing. Plus 700 on Ty Gibbs yesterday. My goodness. Especially at road courses too, because I mean the way strategy. I mean, we saw Dinger. He was in last with like Sam Mayer, however you say it, for a little bit, but then they go right back up front just based off the strategy. So yeah, if you can nail something like that, live betting, I mean, by all means, go for it. Sometimes the books don't exactly know what's going on. But yeah, that's awesome. Plus 700 on Ty Gibbs. I mean, that's a great bet. Yesterday. Well, if you ever see Gibbs at plus 700 today, I wouldn't bet it. De Palma says, fact, I will be top 10 in every contest and 2 of my drivers will spin out on the last lap and I will fail to cash. Yes, that's exactly what's going to happen. Happens all the time. You know, if we could just end races like at 398 miles, I mean, this year would be insane. But those last few laps, they always get me. I am the key says, how much exposure to the Lehman's driver? The Lehman's drivers? You just mean like all the foreigners? I don't know exactly who's all in Lehman's, but I don't really have much Kamui. I don't really have any Kostecki. After that, I don't really have much. Cindric or Chastain? I'm a little bit heavier on Cindric, just a little bit, but pretty much the same play. There's a lot of coin flips today, like Ty Gibbs, Bowman, same play. Then we have Cindric and Chastain, also like the same exact play. Best play 5,300 or less on DraftKings? Oh gosh. I'm not really sure there's anybody on 5,300 bucks I want to play. I guess Burton, Doesn't feel good though. Price picked underdogs this week. I wouldn't personally. I mean, Chase at 5.5 laps is somewhat interesting. You also have Reddick at like 38 laps, which might be a bit too high, but I don't really love much. And they bumped up the other props, and I wouldn't bet them at their current numbers. And last I looked, Underdog didn't have props last I looked, but I'm assuming they have them now. We can take a look, but I don't personally have any action there. So they got, let's see. Well, honestly, Brody Kostecki at 16.5. I mean, I could definitely see him being worse. He has to drop to the rear, so it's not like he even has that track position. So it would be worse on the Kostecki at 16.5. Also got, I mean, nothing else is really great. Like, I don't really see any pairing options I like. Maybe McDowell better than 8.5. I could see him getting a top 8. But yeah, these all kind of suck. Okay, I've done it from Pugsley. Again, I don't know why sometimes they don't show up, so I'm sorry. But it says Turney, Reddick, Larson, Dinger, Cindric, Bowman, Gilly. I think that's pretty good for tournaments. I don't mind that at all, Pugsley. Don't mind that at all. Again, sorry for missing. I don't know why. Sometimes if it's like a certain amount, it doesn't show up at the top. So I don't know what that was about. But do appreciate the dono. What's up, Owie? Reddick, Hamlin, Byron, Logano, Harvick, Jones. I mean, it works. I don't mind it. Don't mind it. Are you playing any Stenhouse today? Not a ton. What are the sims like I'm at? I'm like building right now as we're talking too. So the only thing I've done is my single turn 3 max. I'm building 20 and 150 right now. But Stenhouse is showing up not much, like 7% of the time in sims. So he's just not going to be fast, I can't imagine. Like, he was 34th in practice. He's 34th in qualifying. He's just not going to have speed. He's going to need some wrecks. McDowell, Bowman for cash. I mean, I think they're going to run well today, but cash games makes it very iffy. I do like them a lot in tournaments, though. Trevor Story's all about time, Tito. I mean, gosh, he couldn't hit a baseball for like the first week. What's up, Timothy? So sorry if I tuned in late. No problem. I'm late to my own stream, so you don't have to apologize. Favorite floor/cash drivers? Pretty much Byron Harvick, Dinger, Hamlin. Probably like your safest floors. Which 2v2 for cash? Bowman, Cindric, Suarez, Bowman, or Eric and Busher? Ooh, man. I would guess I would say Bowman, Cindric. I guess. None of them feel great, but I think that's probably my favorite option. Now, Suarez projects the best of all those drivers, but at the same time, I'm not sure if I want to play the pole sitter. Just a little scary at a road course because he could easily finish like 17th or something if something happens and it's like you're screwed. Meanwhile, if Cindric finishes like 17th, it's, it's whatever. And even if like Suarez leads 20 laps, it's like, the Dominator points aren't really adding up too much. Just talking a handful of points. Finding myself leaving 4K in the table on lineups I like. That's fine, Jeff. That's fine. SS Jackson says, hey CP, any thoughts on how Reddick's pit crew will screw him today? I'm sure they'll find some way to do it. It's always they always pick a new way to keep it fresh every week. So stupid. Like last week I had a lot of Reddick, but tire falls off or whatever it was stupid. Brady Jeff says, is Bush a fine player or should I find the extra 500 for Larson on FanDuel? Keep the great work. Yeah, Bush is fine. I mean, I prefer Larson, but I'm not going to blow my lineup over it. They're both very similar plays. Thoughts on McDowell over Harvick and GPPs? Fine with that. I mean, if Harvick just gets stuck in like 27th all day and McDowell finishes third, you're going to rather have McDowell there. And the ownership should be much lower. So definitely fine with that. Outside of car issues in the last time, the thing is, though, it happens every race. The only time he's done well was like when the Indy road course fell apart and he finished 5th or something like that. But I mean, it's just every single time. Stenhouse or LaJoy? I guess Stenhouse, but gross. Picks to win. I only bet on McDowell, Bowman, and Gibbs. I don't think they're going to win, but I like the numbers. But like projection-wise, it's Reddick, Elliott, Larson, or something like that, Suarez. Last man in for DraftKings single entry, have $6,000. I mean, Gilliland was fast, and he's honestly not that bad at road courses. If we're looking at his 8-race sample size in the next-gen car at road courses, average finish 23rd, which is kind of where we're starting. I mean, I would take a 23rd all day. But he's got top 10, top 15, 3 top 20s. I don't think it's bad. And he was fast in practice. Now, the problem is he went to the gravel. But I do believe that Gilliland is my highest projected. Now, the floor is not as safe, obviously, but I do think he has the most upside to finish in the top 20 out of all these guys. AJ, Byron, Chase, Hamlin, Harvick, Stenhouse. It's a viable lineup. It's viable. I mean, Stenhouse is probably going to suck, but it's whatever the rest does. What's up, Dace Vammon? What is up? Blaney, is it fine to have 4 people in the top 10? I'm iffy on Blaney. Not really too excited about that. 4 people in the top 10 is a lot. I would try to get some place differential after those 4. But I do have a lineup that does have 4. So Brad K or Todd Gilliland, I would say Brad. GPP plays, I like Gibbs, Bowman, and who's the other guy? McDowell quite a bit. And then guys like Cindric, I think makes sense. Keselowski, Busher. Sorry, I'm not trying to speed run too much here, but I do have some lineups to build. Got a dono from man Philip. This is $120 last week. Thanks for your insights. Well, thank you for the dono, sir. Hopefully it all goes well again today. Bush, Bell, Bowman, McDowell. Oh, Bush, Bell, Busher, McDowell, Bowman. That's a good lineup. I mean, all those guys are pretty darn good at road courses. So, I don't hate it. Dave says, Busher, Bell, last spot GP on DraftKings. I think I have Bell just a little bit higher. Just a little bit higher. But if you already have a bunch of guys up front, I would say Busher. But overall, it is Bo. Gibbs or Brad last spot. I really like Gibbs today. I guess I would say Gibbs. Happy Dinger Day. I hope it's Dinger Day. I have a lot. Which 2 or 3 plays under 6,500 are you getting to? I guess a little bit of Eric Jones, Austin Dillon, Todd Gilliland. They're popping up a little bit for me. Is Priest worth it as a cheap punt? I don't really want to. He's only $5,400, but I don't expect a ton out of him. But he does have 2 top 15s at road courses this year. Like, he's okay, but they're all pretty much the same play. Like Priest, Stenhouse, Almirola. I would just say throw them all in the same play. Just play whoever fits, I guess. What's up, Mason? Who's your go-to cash lineup driver? I'm pretty much building around Dinger, Harvick, and Byron and Cash today. I think everyone will as well. What's up, Jay Smokes? What's good, bro? I'm rolling the dice on Hendrick again. I think I have every one of them in my lineup today. But it's easy to fit. I mean, they're not too expensive. Because you have Larson, Chase, Byron. Yeah, you can easily fit that for sure. But you think McDowell's high ownership? I think McDowell can get around 20%. But I'm not sure it'll get too high considering that he's right by Harvick and Price. Hit the like button, says Andre. I agree with Andre. It'd be a great idea. Quick question, Haley over Jones, DraftKings GPP. I don't mind that. I mean, Haley should be faster, and he's got track position. But the floor is much lower, keep in mind. Busher and Gilliland or Cindric and Gibbs for GPP? Probably Cindric and Gibbs there. Probably Cindric and Gibbs. How much do you like Hamlin or Stenhouse today? Hamlin, I'm iffy on. My Sims like him around 30%. Ownership dictates he should be close to that. So I'm pretty even on the field. Stenhouse, I mean, I don't like Stenhouse, but he's there at the end. I don't think he's going to run well, though. Harvick or Cindric? I guess I would say Harvick. The floor is safer. Tell us why Rockefeller is a better play than Stenhouse. I'm not playing Rockefeller. I think both suck. Truex, Elliott, Bowman, Harvick, Busher on FanDuel. That looks pretty good. I like that. Yeah, I can roll with that. Einiger says Reddick, Bush, Byron, Logano, Harvick, Stenhouse on DraftKings. It's also fine. Like when I see guys like Stenhouse and Logano, it's just like it's like ugh. But I don't think it's like worth really changing much off of it, so I'm okay with it. Harvick or Cindric. Answer that one. History Buff says Bubba has an average finish of 9th at this track, 13th and 15th. Just saying. It's one of those things where you have to take it into context that there's been so many wrecks at these track types. Like, just it's been absolutely chaos. Not at this track type specifically, but at Indy. I mean, it's just been insane. Because, I mean, you can look at, like, Chastain last year and you see he finishes near 30th, but, I mean, he wasn't a 30th place car. What's up, Jay Nooms? Says, hey, Chris, happy Sunday. Do you think Reddick and Busher can both finish top 10 today? I mean, it's possible. I don't have Busher projected in the top 10, but I mean, I wouldn't rule it out. But depending on the number I'm getting on that. What's up, Michael? Says, hey, CP, big fan. Asked BC a question earlier. Got a shout out. Said, you're the... Oh, well, appreciate that. Oh, yeah, I was watching. Yeah, I did hear that part. But I do appreciate you always listening, Michael. Thank you very much. Jackie says, how many are you playing that inside the top 10? I have a lot of lineups today, so it's not like I have like a set number. But I have upwards of 4 in some. Is Chase Briscoe a good pick? I mean, he's not the absolute worst, but the problem is I don't really like the starting position too much. And I kind of prefer like Bowman and Gibbs more at similar starting positions. Like I have Cindric Briscoe, right around 25 points, 15, 16 place finish. So it's not like amazing, but not the absolute worst play you could ever do. Best option under $6,800. I mean, can I include Bowman? If I can't include Bowman, I would probably say, I guess Briscoe. Thoughts on my FanDuel lineup: Larson, Gibbs, Reddick, Cindric, Van Gisbergen. I mean, it's pretty top heavy as far as starting position, but if the place differential plays suck, you'll be golden, but that's only if they suck. If the place differential plays smash, that's probably not going to work. Do you think Byron makes up the field? Assuming we get cautions at some point, yes. But he's going to be trailing behind for a while. Ross Chastain in ownership? I think Ross probably comes in close to 20% owned today. Stenhouse and Cindric or Jones and McDowell for cash. Whew. I don't really like either, to be honest. I guess Jones and McDowell. I just like McDowell today. But it's a little iffy on both of them. Ryan Preece and Bowman last 2 plays. Ask me a pick? I mean, I'll take Bowman over Preece. Thoughts on Chase Elliott? I do like Elliott today. Obviously great at road courses. But outside of that, I mean, he's basically like a pivot off of Reddick for me, who I think Elliott will be lower owned. Iron Eagle says Elliott, Hamlin, Byron, Logano, Harvick, Keselowski. Yeah, it's viable. You get your one guy up front, then place differential. That can work. Dylan says first time playing or trying NASCAR DFS today. Any must plays on DraftKings? I mean, if you had to pick 2 guys, I would say Byron and Harvick are very safe. AJ Allmendinger as well. That's probably the starting points. Jones or Haley in a vacuum. Just grossness all around. I guess Jones. Dinger, Elliott, McDowell, Byron Gibbs for cash games. That's a little too top heavy for me in cash. I like all those drivers, but Gibbs, McDowell, and Elliott are more so tournament plays. No problem, Dave. I forget what I said, but hopefully it was good. Hamlin or AJ, big GPP. I would have to go with Dinger. Why is Bowman $6,000? Because he's been having a really rough stretch, but you know that doesn't account for anything that'll happen today. So I think he's way underpriced. What is up, Kyle? We'll have to get some Warzone in tonight. Fat Sloppy Duck says Suarez, Chastain, or Cindric to fill a lineup. Highest starting position in my lineup is Bowman for a single entry. I don't know why I'm tapping the mic. I would say... Okay, so Suarez is my highest projected. Just know there's a lot more downside there. But projection-wise, it is Suarez, Cindric, Chastain. Right back at you, James. Hope you have a great day. Truex, Elliott, Byron, McDowell, Haley. It's 5 guys. Is that a FanDuel lineup? I don't really like Haley on FanDuel too much, but the rest looks good. Do we need to play Suarez? I would have some Suarez exposure because if he comes out, leads 20 laps, and finishes like 3rd, that's probably good enough to be in a good lineup. So I would say, yeah, you need some Suarez. Haven't said anything about AA. Would you rather play him over Stenhouse? Yeah, the problem is AA is also just really bad at road courses. I mean, if looking at this year, I mean, it could be worse. It's a very small sample size, but 23rd in his average finish. If you extend this to the next gen car in general, Almirola, 25th in his average running position. 3 top 15s and 4 top 20s. It's not bad, but I don't think he's going to be fast or anything. I mean, they're all just super slow, especially if you're looking at their practice times. If you had to pick one for cash, Truex, Elliott, or Reddick, I would say Truex. Get some PD mixed in there. Like a Hoover or a Dyson. I was actually going to say that, but I thought it'd be cringy, so I didn't, Pete. But I thought it in my head. Do I like Keselowski today? I like him enough to be in like around 20-ish% of my lineups. I think that's fine. Reddick or Truex? I like Truex a little bit more. No problem at all, Steve. Thank you for being here. Tito says, Chris needs to build. I can see the panic. Yeah, I do need to build. I do. No, I'm not cheating on you. Spreading Kyle. You're definitely invited later. But yeah, I do need to build. But we're catching up to the chat, so we're doing good today. Kevin says, thoughts on Gibbs, Harvick, Reddick, Truex, and Chastain on FanDuel. I mean, I like it. I have similar looking lineups. Now, there's just so many guys in play today that I don't even really think I hate any of the lineups. It's just a matter of getting the right combination. How much you like Larson today? I mean, I think he's good for like over 20-ish% of your builds. I mean, there's just so many similar plays. But at $9,600 starting at 6, he was fast and he's got a rate at road courses. So I have plenty of interest in Kyle Larson today. Need to make one of my 3 max builds. No problem at all, Clint. No, I'm surely not doing that, Kyle. But I think I caught up to the chat. I do appreciate everyone being here. Sorry, I kind of speed ran through the end, but I do have to build some lineups here. We got about 30 minutes until luck. So I'm wishing you all the best of luck today. We're going to need luck, especially with how Indy has gone ever since its been created, the road course here. So wishing you all the best. I'll see you all next week for Watkins Glen, and more of a tame road course racing. I'm looking forward to that one a little bit more. And then we have Daytona, which will be fun. Then we have football season right around the corner. But I appreciate y'all being here. Thanks for the donos, and I'll see you all next time.